in the soft amber glow of fluorescent lights, where linoleum floors have absorbed generations of whispered conversations, small-town diners emerge as living archives of human experience. These roadside sanctuaries are not merely architectural spaces, but breathing organisms pulsing with unspoken histories. Each scratched booth, every faded countertop, represents a complex narrative of American life, a microcosm where individual stories converge and diverge in rhythmic, unpredictable patterns. Behind steam-laden coffee mugs and sizzling griddles, entire universes unfold in miniature, revealing intricate social choreographies that most passers-by never comprehend. The diner exists as a democratic stage where traditional boundaries dissolve, creating unexpected intimacies between strangers who might never intersect in any other context. Truckers sit alongside local politicians. Retired factory workers share space with wandering teenagers, all connected through the universal languages of hunger, curiosity, and momentary human connection. These spaces transcend their physical limitations, becoming emotional landscapes where vulnerability and resilience coexist in delicate balance. Every ceramic mug holds more than liquid sustenance. It contains fragments of personal narratives, whispered dreams, and silent struggles that collectively compose the complex symphony of small-town existence. Waitresses inhabit a unique anthropological role within these microcosmic worlds, functioning less as servers and more as emotional cartographers who map human experiences through subtle observations. They read body language with detective-like precision, understanding the unspoken narratives behind each customer's demeanor. A slight tremor in a hand, a distant gaze, a hesitation in ordering, these become text and subtext in their nuanced understanding of human condition. Their expertise extends far beyond menu management. They are custodians of community memory, archivists of local rhythms and personal transformations. They know who's nursing a broken heart, who's celebrating a modest triumph, who's passing through with dreams larger than their current circumstances. Their professional performance involves a delicate choreography of empathy, maintaining professional distance, while offering precisely calibrated emotional support. They understand that in these spaces, a cup of coffee is never just a beverage, but a ritual of connection, a momentary sanctuary where individuals can briefly suspend their external pressures and find temporary reprieve. The physical architecture of these diners tells its own intricate story, with each design element serving as a historical artifact. Vinyl booth seats, often cracked and repaired, bear witness to decades of human interactions. Formica countertops, their surfaces etched with countless stories, reflect design philosophies from different eras. Chrome-edged tables and vintage neon signs are not mere decorative elements, but historical markers, documenting aesthetic shifts and economic transformations. These spaces preserve architectural memories, maintaining a continuous dialogue between past and present. The carefully maintained vintage aesthetics represent more than nostalgic preservation. They are active statements about community continuity and cultural resilience. Every repaired chair, every strategically placed mirror, every faded photograph on the wall contributes to a complex narrative of survival and adaptation. These diners function as living museums, where architectural elements serve as silent narrators of local histories, economic shifts, and social transformations that have shaped small-town America. The soundscape of these diners represents a sophisticated acoustic ecosystem, where every sound carries emotional and social significance. The rhythmic clatter of plates, the precise sizzle of bacon on the griddle, the soft murmur of overlapping conversations create a unique auditory landscape. These sounds are more than background noise. They are the heartbeat of community interaction. The percussive symphony of kitchenwork spatulas scraping surfaces, coffee machines hissing, Silverware being arranged establishes a ritualistic rhythm that anchors human interactions. Experienced patrons can decode these sounds, understanding the kitchen's mood, the staff's efficiency, the day's emotional temperature. A sudden change in kitchen tempo might signal an incoming rush, a moment of stress, or a shift in collective energy. These acoustic signatures transform the diner from a mere eating space into a living, breathing organism with its own internal logic and communication system. The sounds become a form of collective storytelling, allowing participants to feel connected even when not directly conversing. Economic survival in small-town diners involves intricate strategies that extend far beyond traditional business models. These establishments operate as complex social enterprises, balancing financial sustainability with community service. Owners often function as local economists, understanding precisely how to price meals to remain accessible while maintaining profitability. They create economic ecosystems that support multiple stakeholders: local farmers providing ingredients, regional suppliers, staff members, and community customers. Pricing becomes a nuanced negotiation between economic necessity and social responsibility. Many diners implement subtle economic support systems, like discounted meals for local workers, flexible payment arrangements for regular customers experiencing temporary financial challenges, and community credit systems that maintain dignity while providing practical support. These economic strategies transform the diner from a commercial space into a critical social infrastructure, supporting community resilience through strategic economic compassion. The culinary offerings in these diners represent more than mere sustenance. They are cultural artifacts embodying regional histories and collective memory. Traditional menu items like meatloaf, chicken fried steak, and homemade pies are not just foods, but narrative vessels carrying generational knowledge. Each recipe represents a complex intersection of cultural heritage, agricultural practices, and family traditions. Recipes passed down through generations become living historical documents, preserving culinary techniques that might otherwise be lost. The preparation methods, ingredient selections, and serving styles communicate intricate stories about migration patterns, agricultural developments, and cultural exchanges. A simple apple pie might reveal narratives about settler movements, agricultural innovations, and family survival strategies. The diner's menu functions as an edible historical archive, where each dish becomes a chapter in a larger story of cultural adaptation and preservation. Social dynamics within these spaces operate through sophisticated, unspoken protocols that govern interaction. Unlike formal social environments, diners create unique interaction zones where traditional hierarchies temporarily dissolve. A factory worker might share profound insights with a traveling businessman, or a teenager might receive unexpected life advice from a retired teacher. These interactions are governed by an unwritten social contract that prioritizes genuine human connection over social distinctions. The shared experience of eating creates a temporary communal space where individual differences become less significant. Conversations flow with remarkable freedom, unburdened by the formal constraints of other social settings. This social alchemy transforms the diner into a democratic forum where human experiences can be candidly shared, where strangers become temporary confidants, and where the boundaries between personal narratives become wonderfully permeable. The emotional landscape of these diners is characterized by a profound sense of transience and continuity. Customers arrive with diverse emotional states, some seeking comfort, others escaping personal challenges, many simply passing through. The diner becomes a transitional space where personal narratives intersect momentarily before diverging again. This creates a unique emotional ecosystem where loneliness finds temporary companionship, where personal struggles are acknowledged without being invasively examined. The environment offers a delicate balance between anonymity and connection, allowing individuals to feel simultaneously seen and protected. Waitstaff and regular customers become emotional conductors, creating subtle support networks that extend beyond immediate interactions. A kind word, a knowing glance, a strategically offered coffee refill can transform a moment of personal isolation into a brief experience of human solidarity. Technology and modernization pose significant challenges to these traditional spaces, forcing them to continuously reinvent themselves. While maintaining core cultural identities, many diners have strategically integrated modern elements offering Wi-Fi, accepting digital payments, creating Instagram-worthy aesthetic experiences. This delicate balance between preservation and adaptation becomes a metaphor for broader social transformations. Owners must navigate complex negotiations between honoring traditional practices and meeting contemporary expectations. Some diners have transformed into hybrid spaces that simultaneously celebrate nostalgia and embrace technological innovation. This adaptive strategy ensures their continued relevance, allowing them to remain critical social infrastructures while appealing to newer generations. The most successful establishments understand that authenticity is not about rigid preservation, but about continuous, thoughtful evolution. Ultimately, these small-town diners represent something far more profound than mere eating establishments. They are living archives of human experience, complex social technologies that enable community survival and individual resilience. Each diner tells a unique story about local identity, economic adaptation, and human connection. They are spaces where the extraordinary constantly hides within the seemingly ordinary, where personal narratives intersect in unexpected ways, and where the fundamental human need for connection transcends all other considerations. In an increasingly fragmented world, these diners continue to serve as critical social infrastructure's quiet sanctuaries that remind us of our shared humanity, our collective stories, and the remarkable beauty of momentary, unscripted human encounters. In the forgotten corners of America's highways, where asphalt meets nostalgia, a single coffee cup holds more stories than most libraries. These roadside diners aren't just restaurants. They're living archives of human experience, silent witnesses to generations of unspoken narratives. Every cracked vinyl booth, every chipped ceramic mug, every worn linoleum floor has absorbed decades of whispered conversations, shattered dreams, and unexpected redemptions. The first time I truly understood this was in a small diner nestled between wheat fields and forgotten railroad tracks in central Nebraska. From the outside, it looked unremarkable. A faded sign, dusty windows, the kind of place travelers might miss without a second glance. But inside, an intricate social machinery hummed with remarkable complexity. Martha, the 67-year-old waitress, who had worked here for over 4 decades, moved with a choreographed precision that suggested she knew every inch of this space better than her own heartbeat. Her hands, weathered by decades of pouring coffee and handling hot plates, seemed to have their own muscle memory. Each movement was deliberate, each gesture a silent communication with the regulars, who had become more family than customers. The diner's rhythm was a delicate ecosystem. Morning regulars, mostly retired farmers and local tradesmen, occupied specific seats like territorial monarchs. Harold, who always sat in the corner booth near the window, would arrive precisely at 6:15 a.m., order black coffee and dry toast, and read his newspaper with military discipline. Next to him, Bill the mechanic would discuss local politics in hushed tones, his calloused hands wrapped around a steaming mug. What outsiders rarely comprehend is that these spaces are more than mere eating establishments. They are complex social institutions, microcosms of community survival. Each diner operates with unwritten rules, intricate social hierarchies, and communication systems that would baffle anthropologists. A particular way of folding napkins, a specific coffee refill gesture, the exact angle of a plate placement, all these carry profound meanings understood only by insiders. Consider the counter, that magical boundary between public performance and private vulnerability. Here, strangers become temporary companions, sharing fragments of their lives between bites of apple pie and sips of bottomless coffee.